Good evening, this is Caroline Clarkson Drake, just coming online to tell you all about the fabulous film Jeanne de Barry. Yesterday I had the privilege of attending a screening at the Soho Hotel, and I'd like to tell you a few notes about the film. So here we go. Yesterday I felt that my visualization had come true as I realised that after willing Jeanne de Barry film into London, it actually was going to take place at the Soho Hotel. As I look back on that special event, I realise what a privilege and an honour it was to see this film in such a magnificent hotel that many celebrities in the past have stayed at, as it's very close to Wardour Street. What a wonderful experience to be treated as a VIP and to enjoy the luxury of this hotel and have the opportunity to be one of the first people in the UK to see Jeanne de Barry in a screening. And the film is released into the United Kingdom on the 19th of April, so I hope you're going to get your tickets and go and see it. So anyway, here we go. Many of Johnny Depp's fans call themselves relatives, and it was lovely to chat to so many yesterday about what it means to be a fan of Johnny Depp. After all, he is a wonderful artist. He's done fabulous films right back to the days of Edward Scissorhands, and now obviously recently he's done Modi. He's been directing that film. And I'm sure there's going to be lots more films coming in the future. As I say, he's fabulous in everything he does, even to his music as well. So it appears that we have spent a lot of spare cash on meet and greets in the past, and also in the future I'm sure that fans will be a little careful of how they spend their money, but yesterday money was well worth spent on the Q&A session, seeing the film and having a lovely meal afterwards. But I'm going to say the Soho Hotel is not cheap, so you need to put your money aside and save up for the occasion, but if you're going to go there, it's well worth it. So anyway, go back to Jeanne de Barry, is played by Ma Wen. Now, don't be put off the fact that she doesn't look like the archetypal portrait of Jeanne de Barry. She puts this portrait of this female into life, breathes air into the character, and within a few minutes, the audience starts to feel part of what's actually going on. You know, we can all basically relate to this character. Because after all, majority of us aren't born royalty or celebrities, are we? We try and make our way in life, doing the best by people, doing a little bit of charity work here and there, and trying to be kind to one another. Okay, so as I say, this amazing woman changed the life of history within the court of Versailles, or Versailles, whatever you want to call the area of the palace, and was the absolutely love of King Louis XV, who cared so much about his people. So, here we go again. The film reminded me very much of the fairy tale of Cinderella, but obviously it was based on true life. The film shows a younger version of Ma Wen, who plays that role as she's growing up, and it's a tough old life because she's born into this world as an illegitimate child of a seamstress, and at an early age it's decided that she should spend her early life in a convent with education and to basically get a good education. So, whether this is true or not, we see Ma Wen playing Jeanne de Barry and actually reading some quite erotic style books, which she gets into trouble with. Naughty girl, but hey, you know, lots of us teenagers being there, done there, got the t-shirt, and I mean, they didn't have t-shirts, did they? But it was there. All right. After carrying out several jobs after she leaves the convent, Jeanne de Barry arrives as a courtesan in the court of King Louis XV and makes her way into high society. There appears to be just one problem, and that is the fact that she is a commoner. And now she's thinking about how is she going to make her way, and to make her way to be more established in her life. She needs to hold on to that dream and win the eye of King Louis. Is she going to do it? Yeah, of course she is. She needs to hold on and believe that she can be the maîtresse d'un titan, who is the king's mistress. Thankfully, a solution comes about, and she's married on the 1st of September 1768 to the Comte de Guillaume de Barry. The marriage was a form of deception because obviously she's not a courtesan and she's not of royal blood. But nevertheless, they make her age 3 years younger and from her real age. And she's showed on the birth certificate that she's of noble blood. There you go. Now it starts getting interesting. On to the next page. Although Jeanne de Barry is a willing student in the ways of etiquette, she finds it quite difficult to fit into the court, and there are quite a few funny moments in the film that did make me laugh. And she's trying to learn how to walk backwards in like pigeon steps. Now, once she gets to know the king, he helps her. Now, isn't that such a lovely thing to do? You know, have somebody in your life who's there as a mentor to help you on your life. Gosh, wish I had one. No, I actually probably have. There's probably quite a few people out there willing to help me. But hey, let's go on. And as time progresses, she realised that she cannot rely upon the people around her. She's got literally to carve her lifestyle for herself. And there is a line in the film where King Louis XV turns round to her and says, "What's your sign?" And I think he actually means, "What's your sign of the zodiac?" Because obviously in those days they actually did have their own astrologist to guide them, to help them on their way. But, you know, this isn't something that is natural for Jeanne de Barry. And as I say, she's got a tough life because obviously his daughters don't like her, the courtesans don't appreciate her. You know, they think she's a troll. But she's going to prove them wrong, isn't she? Because she's going to be there, right beside the king. Wow. As time progresses in the film, we see the relations between Jeanne de Barry and King Louis XV blossom into something quite remarkable. Although sadly, as I said before, she's not accepted by King's daughters and Marie Antoinette until the King's son, King Louis XVI, feels kindly proposed towards her and is forced into a situation where he has to prove his loyalty to his father. That's a good thing. And this is definitely a turning point and quite a significant scene. She's having tough. She's had the son Adolphe by the Count de Barry, and she tries to bring him into the courtesan way of life. Now, sadly, he's involved in a what do you call it? Fencing accident, and he dies. So the love child of her marriage is not there any longer. You know, The husband basically is there. He obviously wants to, shine bright and to make sure that his wife is doing well with King Louis, because obviously there are quite a few courtesans who also would like the position of Jeanne de Barry. I say, Marwen plays this role beautifully. She really, really does. And we start, as I say, we're really believing in her character right now. So as time progresses, she's accepted, and there's this wonderful scene where she takes her dress and she runs full belt up the steps of the Jardin de Tuileries outside Versailles. Now, as I said before, there are quite a few other courtesans. We've got Madame de Pompadour, who also wants to be part of the limelight. She sees herself as noble blood, that she should be there. Now, sadly, there's this particular moment of time, because she's gone through it all. She felt very sad about the son dying, in this fencing accident, and she can't give this full love to her king. So, unfortunately, that particular moment in time, Madame de Pompadour steps forward, and thus she takes a sideways step and goes into a convent for a little time, between 1745 and 1751, until she comes back, because the king wants her back in his life. She's played a major, major role there, absolutely. And she stays with him in this film right until the end, until unfortunately the king gets smallpox and eventually dies of this dreadful disease. It's a fabulous film. The costumes are absolutely out of this world. The scene is beautiful. We were very lucky to actually be involved with the Q&A session, and I had the fortunality, as to say, to be sitting in the front row. So I had a chance to actually answer. Well, not actually answer. So I was going with the flow, as to say, but I actually had the chance to ask questions to Marwen and also the costume designer, which was absolutely fabulous. We learned a lot from the questions and answers about the costumes, and this is to do with Jürgen Doring. Lovely man, very approachable. When I said that I was just past my astrology, he was quite, appreciative of that, and he said that we were all connected, which I think was really, really quite nice. As I said before, his costumes are amazing. There were actually 6 costumes by Chanel that were used in the film, but there were actually 2 others that Marwen and Jürgen were involved with. There's a beautiful blue fluffy one, which I was really loving, and also the gown that she wears when she's actually climbing over the tables in the beginning, and having a little bit of fun there. Okay, as I said before, Jürgen told us about how he started with Yves Saint Laurent, and he had training with them, and he also spoke about the fact that his favourite film was actually Barry Lyndon, which was one of my favourite films by Stanley Kubrick. The costumes in that film are terrific, and you can understand how at an early age this was his dream, to actually be able to design fabulous costumes in the future. And it was lovely to see that his dream is coming true, absolutely. As I said, they are works of art, these costumes, and definitely awe-inspiring. And I definitely feel that the essence of the film is going to go down in cinematography history. So, and I also was quite amused to find out that the stockings that were made for the film were actually to the original design that originally would have been worn by King Louis XV, and they were made of silk. Silk is such a beautiful, fine material, and it just literally floats on the body. It really does. I used to have quite a few lovely silk shirts back in the 70s in the new romantic phase. Yep. So, as I was saying, the brocade on the actual garments was historically correct as well, which was lovely to see. And when I asked the question about who made the shoes, again, historically correct, they were made by a person in Italy. Now, we all know that Italian design is second to none. It really is, you know, and they have beautiful haute couture designs. And, you know, we can literally bow to all the costumes and designs. And thankfully, you know, we all would love to own a Chanel or a particular design, wouldn't we just? But hey, you know, we can all have our own designs in our own special way. You know, I've got today my cashmere jumper. Yay! All right. But as I say, coming back to how a production comes through, you know, it's amazing to think. Was it? No, it's probably a lot more than that, than 2.5. Probably about 200 million pounds. You know, but what a thing to actually believe so much that you want to put all your money into achieving a film of this calibre. Absolutely. From a personal experience, I know how much time and effort is put into a film. You know, I grew up in the film industry. My father was a sound recordist. My mother was a production assistant. And back 40 odd years ago, you know, women were basically producer secretaries or production assistants, worked in publicity or continuity, or were part of design. But never did we ever think that a woman in the future would actually direct a fabulous film like Jeanne de Barry. And I've got to say, Ma Wen, brilliant, fantastic, wonderful film. And for me, you know, working in the past with film producers like Harry Ben and, other fabulous people, it's just brought it all back to me how much effort goes into making a film. It really does. And I had the opportunity of meeting Stephen Juters, who is the associate producer of this film. Lovely man. Had my photograph taken with him. Spot on. Absolutely wonderful. And of course I had my opportunity of having my photograph taken with Ma Wen and also Jürgen, which was really nice. Now, as you know, I'm a spiritual medium, and sometimes my predictions have come correct in the past, so I'm going to make a prediction now. I feel that by next year, Jeanne de Barry is going to walk away with a lot of awards, maybe even Oscars. I definitely would give Jeanne de Barry an Oscar for the best European, or should I say foreign film. And also for costume design, best director. And yeah, I would love to see also an Oscar going to Johnny Depp, because it's been long waited. He's, as I said, a fabulous actor. He really cares about his fans, and he actually cares about everything that he portrays on screen. He even had a special coach to make sure that his pronunciation of certain words were correct, which was, I thought, was quite something, really. Seeing as he's an American citizen, you know, he's not natural American. Okay, so he married, what should he say? He had the love of his life, Vanessa Paradis, who obviously taught him a lot of French. more ways than one, I'm sure, but hey, that's another story. Okay, but as I say, film opens 19th of this month. Fabulous film, fabulous costumes. Go out there, have a few drinks, go out there and see it with your friends and have a super fabulous time. Bright blessings. Love you all. See you soon, I hope, and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you. Bye-bye.